What's the word, y'all? It's your boy Smoke, and we got breaking news. Dejounte Murray is headed to the Hawks to team up with Trae Young. That's gonna be a very fun backcourt, man. And I know Trae Young gotta be ecstatic. Got a backcourt mate that can constantly create plays for himself and others. I kind of feel like they gave the other guys in the Hawks a little too much to handle. They can create at times, but that shouldn't be their role at all times. Those guys are knockdown shooters. Bogdanovich can create a little bit more, but still, I'm glad they have a guy that's your role. You know what I mean? You create stuff. These guys won't go out there and score. He really helps their defense out too. A defense that ranked 26 in the league last year. It was terrible in the fourth quarter defensively. This is another guy that can guard 1 through 3, some 4s. Just him and Hunter, I feel like they should really hold down the perimeter. Kind of similar to like Reggie Bullock and Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't know if the Hawks will have a top 7 defense like the Mavs had this year, but I think that Dejounte should really help. And him not being the number one option anymore, I think he can give a little bit more effort on defense too. Think about that. Like, he led the league in steals, and these wasn't just gambling steals, because steals don't always indicate great defense, but these weren't just gambling steals. Dejounte actually get into that stance, move his feet, force the offensive player to do something that he kind of uncomfortable doing a lot of the times. He get a lot of pickpockets. He used that long wingspan, great at just sticking out that left hand, poking and going to get it. He great at that. So imagine a guy that was snubbed for all defense. Snubbed. Dejounte Murray should have made all defense this year. But imagine this guy taking it to another level defensively because he can. Like, he has the energy to do that now. Now that he got a guy in Trae that can give you 30 and 10 any night, he could focus on defense a little bit more. So that's even scarier. Hunter, we've all been wanting him to take that next step for a minute now. Hopefully he can this season, going into the off season healthy. So hopefully he can take that step as a creator. Because if he gave the Hawks another big creator to join Dejounte Murray, Trae is what he is. But if Hunter could take that step as a creator, that will help the Hawks even more. Just that internal progress. That can always do so much, just that internal progress. I've seen a lot of Capella in these lineups, and I wasn't the highest on him last year. Obviously, he had a tough season. Onyeka Okongwu was very high on him. I love his energy. He had a few games early in the year where he guarded Giannis, and it was like, man, this dude is a madman. Like, how come he don't get more run? And seeing her thinking about it, it's kind of similar to Rob Williams, like in the bubble. Like when they played the Heat the first time, like in the bubble, I was like, man, Rob should play more. But I understand that sometimes it's philosophy stuff that this big might not understand. Like, the big has to understand everything defensively. So I can understand why, we might think bigs should play more, why they don't early in their careers. But I think Onyeka should get a lot more run this year. And maybe Clint Capella bounce back and he have a great season. That's possible too. But I think Onyeka is the future, and he should get a lot of run this season. I'm not going to do predictions right now. I kind of want to see where free agency leads us. But the Hawks should definitely feel good right now. They are probably, one of the 6 best teams. Like, on paper, they probably want to be in the play-in right now. But the East is deep. I don't know. You got the Heat, the Celtics, the Bucks. I think Brooklyn is going to be better. Philly, Toronto, the Bulls. It's a lot of great teams. So you can't even just pencil them in to be out the play-in right now, because it's a lot of great teams. But that is a fun backcourt. The on-ball, off-ball dynamic between Trae and Dejounte will be something to watch. I think Trae can really get unlocked playing off the ball, playing with Dejounte. He's never had somebody that can create like this. He can get a lot more catch-shoot three-point attempts now. I never cared what Trae percentage was, even when it was like 34%. I always felt like he was a great shooter, as we all did though. But it was so many tough shots, step backs, 35-footers, side steps, shots with hands in his face. It was just so many tough shots. The percentage was always misleading. Trae was never that type of shooter like that his percentage showed. I know he had a great three-point shooting season this year. I'm expecting him to replicate that with Dejounte, but he'll get way more catch and shoot opportunities. And for Dejounte, he's going to have a lot of value as a cutter and as an offensive rebounder. He needs to watch some D Wade from like 2012, like when he played with LeBron. Just do a lot of that stuff. Because, yeah, you are the 1B creator, but when you are in that B role, how you going to impact the game? But I do see Dejounte bailing him out a lot late in the shot clocks with that midi, his floater. He can, that's so tough. Slapped him on the butt. That's just tough. But he can, finish with either hand. His pullback is so mean. But yeah, man, that's going to be a super fun backcourt. Excited to see it. Dejounte was trolling his whole process on the internet. That was hilarious. He got game, man. Can't wait to see him play with the Hawks next year. Should be a great season for them.